Do you really think that the opposite, unthinkingly, the opposite of whatever the mainstream says is somehow a more nuanced position than simply following it? It's literally the exact position inverted.
Yeah, and I heard you speak of that before, that sort of reflexive contrarianness, and it's something I really relate to. I've experienced that a lot. Like my head.
They're really trying to sound big deep when all they're trying to say is that hair not hot. That's like, I can summarize this entire video. It's hair on women not hot. But, you know, Mimetics. All right, let's check out what Feral Girl Summer is all about.
So I wanted to talk about Feral Girl Summer, which I saw in The Independent a little while ago. Feral Girl Summer is the latest dating trend to make single women feel inadequate. A new TikTok trend is encouraging women to embrace their authentic selves. But what does it say about the pressures society places on women without partners? So, as you might be aware, Hot Girl Summer was a thing that was promoted. Was it by... who did it? Megan Thee Stallion, to capture the post-pandemic spirit of last year, trended on TikTok and Instagram, Hot Girl Summer. And Feral Girl Summer is about not shaving your legs. It's about think Fleabag with a sprinkle of someone who has been at Glastonbury for 3 weeks. Ostensibly, the Feral Girl Summer is not about dating, but as with Hot Girl Summer, its definition is dependent on it. According to the dating app Badoo, 87% of female users felt pressure to have a Hot Girl Summer in 2021, with 71% saying that this impacted their dating life. So Feral Girl Summer is whatever the opposite is of Hot Girls.
Can't wait to hear him talk about how people should be shaving their hair from their bodies.
Summer. It's talking about female autonomy. It's not giving a fuck. The attitude is similar to that perpetuated by the cool girl trope. Problematic yet this seductive depiction of subdued femininity created for the male gaze. So this is a trend created by women for women, but has somehow been screwed back around to it being a product of the patriarchy and its oppressive cis heteronormative.
Is that what they're saying? That it's a product of the patriarchy?
Oh, everything is. Similar, another TikTok trend, goblin mode. Have you seen that?
No.
Goblin mode is officially dead. We all know this. Jimmy Fallon has taken goblin mode away from all of us.
No, I like that though.
Goblin mode. The Feral Girl Summer encourages women to forego beauty rituals in favor of more radicalized, unkempt aesthetics. You have to be your authentic self in order to qualify, and that apparently means throwing away your razor. Why? Because conforming to beauty standards makes us bad feminists. Is having hairy legs supposed to make us feel empowered when we have sex? And if it doesn't, does that make us a failure? So basically, it's a very unfalsifiable idea that womanhood is archaic ideologies around womanhood, and this is something that's put forward by men. And you go, well, look at where most of the criticism about women's appearances come from. It's not men.
Oh.
It's mostly other women.
Oh.
Men criticize men and women criticize women. That doesn't mean that there isn't crossover, but beauty standards for women aren't created by men. We don't give a fuck about your new fast fashion and whether pastel shades are in, and whether you remember a thigh gap when a thigh gap was a
you can say it like that because you don't know how to express it in words, but I'm pretty sure it's usually dudes who are like, you should smile more. You know, you'd be more attractive if you put on some lipstick. Hey, baby, why don't you put on more makeup? I don't like the way you're looking. You know what? You look tired today. You look really tired today. It's like, oh, I just decided not to wear makeup today. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm going to express that by saying you look tired.
And now it's whether you've got like a big bum. All of that came from women to women. It wasn't us. But the Feral Girl Summer thing, I just think it's very, very interesting because it's showing very quickly this sort of vacillation from one extreme to another. Hot Girl Summer was supposed to be, the pandemic's locked everybody down. Summer's here. You're supposed to be your best self and go out and be glamorous with your friends and go to festivals and wear white boots and stuff like that. Within 1 year, it's now whatever the exact opposite is.
Well, it makes sense. They're really the same energy.
How do you mean?
Like it's the same. It's like they're actually not only. Yeah.
One of my high school teachers asked a girl in my class if she was sick. She said she was just not wearing makeup. He felt so fucking bad. That's pretty rough.
They're two sides of the same coin, right? So it's really the same. I totally relate to the idea of trying to look a certain way. Right. I mean, my whole life I've been so aesthetically minded, but like not like with necessarily good aesthetics. Right. I was like a hardcore kid in the Bay Area, all black and, You know, I had like a neck full of handmade beaded necklaces that showed you how straight edge I was or something like
Do you
that,
have the
right?
black cross on the back of the hand?
When we went to shows, sure.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, but like the aesthetics, like my brother says, I took myself out of the game before I'd even started, right? Like,
Yeah, I just wanted to show you what I was talking about when I said Jimmy Fallon ruined Gauntlet mode. Check this out.
That since taking office, President Biden has seen his approval rating drop the most among young voters. Yeah, well, I think he's trying to win young voters back. Check out this new ad the White House just released.
What's up, fam? You know who's not shooting? The only president who's straight up buzzing, Joe Biden. President B is clapping back on the haters with
sensible bipartisan policy.
We ain't trying to sing, we're just spilling the tea, because he's got BPE.
Big president energy.
So support Joe Biden today, because our White House daddy is about to go goblin mode on inflation.
Yeah, sorry everyone. Hate to be the one to break the bad news.
they're the same. They're the same energy. Because back to the bit about authenticity, like you have to kind of know yourself a little bit to try to be honest about your inauthenticity. And I think it's actually quite hard to be honest about your inauthenticity, to even grok it in any sort of way, right? It's like it's actually kind of running in the background a bit, and it's hard to get back. It's harder to get back there than it is to like try something like this, which is very clear, be hot. This, which is very clear, be not hot. You know, it's like, oh, this feels like
You're just doing the thing right now, the thing where you're like, oh, the beauty standards don't actually come from men, they come from other women. Yeah, we don't give a fuck about any of this. We don't talk about this. But in terms of this one, yeah, this is not hot. It's not.
the same thing. Be,
Yeah.
be something. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. It's like be.
Maybe it's hairy legs.
Yeah.
Maybe it's under armpits.
You
Yeah,
know?
there's a really cool thing that I learned about mimetic theory. So mimesis, right?
Mhm.
Rene Girard's thing. People copy people that are of high status, right? Megan Thee Stallion, high enough status to cause millions probably of girls to think about having a hot girl summer last year. Now, there's two types of mimesis. I didn't know this. One is positive mimesis, which is when you model off somebody that's high status.
Yeah.
And the other is negative mimesis, which is when you don't model off somebody that's low status. So the problem with trying to be a contrarian or a heterodox or a cynic or a skeptic, a lot of the time, that's no more nuanced or depth thinking than the other person. Or if all that you do is reflexively be contrarian to whatever the mainstream narrative is, that's no smarter than the people that just follow it. You've just inverted whatever the algorithm is. If it's the same with, what happened with the vaccines and stuff like that, that caused a lot of people to be so distrusting of mainstream media because they'd seen them sort of flip-flop between different narratives a lot, that they became reflexive contrarians. And you go, well, hang on.
No, that's not why people became skeptic. It was because of a whole bunch of fucking assholes on the internet who were pushing conspiracy theories 24/7. And that's been going on for a long time. The anti-vax movement and all this like vaccines cause autism bullshit, it's evolved multiple times to a point where the general public seems to have an aversion to vaccines. And then you just need a couple people to go on the internet and talk about horse paste and goo and other shit like that, and 5G radio towers and microchips inside of our bodies controlling us and all that kind of shit. And all of a sudden, yeah, you're ripe for some assholery.
Do you really think that the opposite, unthinkingly, the opposite of whatever the mainstream says is somehow a more nuanced position than simply following it? It's literally the exact position inverted.
Yeah, and I've heard you speak of that before, that sort of reflexive contrarianness, and it's something I really relate to. I've experienced that a lot. Like my head.
They're really trying to sound big deep when all they're trying to say is that hair not hot. That's like, I can summarize this entire video. It's hair on women not hot. But, memetics.
It sounds like that often, or like when I look back over life and see full like seasons or phases of my life that were lived in something
Feral chase summer.
that were just inspired by not being like that.
Yep.
Right?
Well, I mean, that's what this is. In fact, I think that's a really good explanation for what it is. It's two sides of the same coin. You had hot girl summer last year, feral girl summer this year, and it's the reflexive contrarian thing. Last year, we were playing up to what men's standards were in terms of an oppressive. It was created by Megan Thee Stallion, not a man.
Okay, let's dig deeper. Feral girl summer is the latest dating trend to make single women feel inadequate. Picture the scene. It's 6 a.m. on Sunday morning, and a young woman is skipping down the street. She is wearing last night's clothes and a baseball cap she found on the floor of a nightclub. Her hair is sticky and smelly and smells like cheap white wine. There's red lipstick smudged across various parts and around her mouth. She is young, wild, and horny as hell. Introducing Feral Girl Summer, the latest TikTok trend dictating how single women should spend the upcoming months. Authentic, messy, liberated, and the concept is sold as an antithesis to the predecessor. Sorry, I'm not doing great. Hot Girl Summer, which was coined by Megan Thee Stallion, that came to capture the post-pandemic spirit of last year. It trended on TikTok, Instagram, and just about every other social media platform. The idea was that the summer of 2021 would be a sexual bacchanalia, one characterized by the sense of reckless abandonment to make up for lost time during lockdown. Women who embraced it were supposed to be free, fabulous, and above all else, hot. Crucially, they epitomized the bastion of contemporary femininity. But many observers, a hot girl summer, or a hot vax summer, as it was also dubbed, didn't quite live up to everyone's expectations. Coronavirus was rising steadily throughout. Festivals were mostly off the table. Holiday plans stayed in a state of flux. Hence why the arrival of Feral Girl Summer is gathering pace online, creating as much heated dose of optimism of the months ahead. On TikTok, the hashtag alone has already garnered more than 4 million views. As for what it actually entails, the spectrum is broad. Wearing tiny outfits, getting free drinks, dancing naked around a fire under the moon are all definitions that are bandied around social media. There's also a theme of subverting beauty norms, like not shaving your legs or brushing your hair. The general theme is unhinged chaos. What's the problem with the unhinged chaos?
Therefore, this year we're going to disregard typical feminine beauty standards. And you go, well, hang on a second. When you don't feel nice, when you do that, that's not coming from some fucking bureaucratic organization telling you about how you're supposed to be. It's just naturally what's in the culture at the moment about what is femininity. Yeah. And for the most part, that's created by women. Yeah. And this reflexive heterodoxy, reflexive cynicism, skepticism thing, it really isn't a smart solution. It's no deeper, but it gives people a little bit more of a sense that they've done some work.
Right. And but it's like, I don't even believe in this world anymore. This world of bloggers talking to each other about who's responsible for this, that, and the other. First of all, I bet there's
You're taking this way too seriously. It's a fucking TikTok trend. Who cares? I don't even believe in this world anymore. I mean, now we have Feral Girl Summer. I mean, what's next? You know? The chaos energy is off the charts. Like, I can't handle this.
Numbers of people who are like thinking that this hot girl or feral girl summer is important. It's like very minimal in terms of its significance.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just it's a trend on TikTok. You're doing a whole video about it. You're actually making it way more important than it actually is.
I imagine.
I think you'd be surprised, man.
Maybe
when it gets down to the girls' level, like people want a archetype to latch onto. You know this. Yeah. You know this. Stories throughout the ages. They want an archetype.
Yeah, but I guess sometimes it's just like when it's 20-year-olds like
oh my god,
screaming about like, I'm like, call me in like 8 years. Like we're gonna get through some real shit. You've got to like, life keeps going. It just keeps going. Yeah. Right. You're having feral girl for a summer. You're having hot girl for a summer. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean that's a good point. The fact that what you do for the summer is a really important thing. Only somebody that's been around on the planet for less than 20 years can think that that's a big deal.
Possibly. I mean, I love the idea that you can try on different shit. We can try on all of this stuff and cool, go explore. Try a bunch of stuff on, right? And realize how maybe not closer to how you want to feel you still are. Right? It's like that Jim Carrey quote about I hope you get everything that you want. And then realize like you still don't have it. You know, like you're still missing some essential bit.
Armpit hair. Which is armpit hair.
It is. I mean, I'm around a lot of women who are consciously not shaved. Have you ever shaved your legs, by the way?
No. Have you?
Yeah.
Right. How's it feel?
Season of it. Oh, dude.
Oh, I was gonna say I thought they were shaved. So it's kind of like me. It's kind of just naturally hairless.
So you had a hot girl summer.
I had a very hot girl summer back in the day. These are like these leg hairs are like tree trunks. By the way, I would only go up halfway through my thigh because it's a nightmare going higher. I literally had hair shorts. I mean, just getting there's just more thick hair up there. Hilarious, but I just loved getting into bed with a clean shaved leg. You never felt anything like it. And then you get one chill, and beep, all these little pricks start showing up, and it's done. Like it's over.
Turkey that's been plucked.
I relate to I don't want to be shaving my legs anymore, right? I relate to that so much, even though that was I had my hot. It was just a summer I was doing that, but it was. I highly recommend.
I have a buddy who does that for jiu-jitsu because he's adamant that it helps him with leg lock escape.
Swimmers,
certain that it makes him more slippery.
Swimmers.
Yeah, exactly.
What's happening, people? If you enjoyed that, then press here.
I did not. It was very boring. I don't want to watch it again, or you. Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Just, we are prepared to embark on a mighty jihad in your name. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your humble jesters, attempting in vain to get you to laugh. To our valiant knights of the Round Table, Benji Arnie, Tech Tink, Scary Earth Human, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Mayred, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruby Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood. It doesn't matter what I believe, it only matters what I can prove. Egbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Coulter Smith, Jenna Tao, Quiet 185, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, The Tim Caucus, Multimondi, Trevbot, EXE, Brian Ephraim, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojak, Saren 42, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, Agent NDN, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, La Media Panza, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We raise our mugs and salute our brave heroes off to another glorious conquest.